Right, let's do Laura's next. RF store. Here she is. First time seeing Roa, I must admit, I'm very impressed. My expectations were high given the Rhineford Company's presence here, but I can safely say they've been shattered. A single shop alone has more types of all goods than the entirety of Legram. I feel kind of like a child in a candy store, to be honest. There's so much I want to look at while I'm here. Maybe some window shopping. Whenever we look around together, nothing like shelves full of stuff to take your mind off things. By all means, let's see what this place has to offer. Wardrobes. An orbital refrigerator. Large one in the courageous kitchen, but I wasn't entirely sure what it was at the time. We do have one on board, don't we? Being able to just stick food in there and have it stay fresh for days is pretty awesome. So it is. Wouldn't mind having one for myself when I want to prepare a boxed lunch. How much does one cost? Maybe I'll consider one when my skill in cooking improves enough to justify the expenditure. Let's go look at something else. Right, she actually seems pretty disappointed. She can't actually get one. The design is rather avant-garde. It's an orbital vacuum cleaner. You press the button on it and it sucks up dust and crumbs. Orbital version of a broom, I guess. It sounds pretty convenient. I'll have to give it a try. Press the button on the vacuum cleaner. I think you're supposed to just turn on appliances in the store like that. Guess the curiosity just got the better of me. I suppose I should turn it off then. Is this the button you press to do that? Or is it vibrating even louder and more forcefully? Excuse me, miss. Well, we certainly seem none too pleased with us. I'm sorry, Rean. Don't worry about it, it's not often I see you get into trouble like that. I guess technology isn't your forte, huh? Apparently not. I mean, I have an interest in it, but very little experience in actually using it. I think I would use all the appliances here if I had a chance to learn though, just like I did with our combat ornaments. By the way, what are these? Orbital washing machines. By the look of it, you put your clothes in there and it washed it for you. Alyssa had a few in her house from what I remember. I'm sure it sounds convenient. I wonder how it works. Let me see. Not again. My apologies. So which of these fans turn off? This one? Maybe this one? Oh boy, that's not good. Please tell me you haven't done what I think you've done. I'm afraid it appears I've broken it. Excuse me, miss. Damage was much less severe than it looked, and able to repair the orbital machine. The employee was understandably furious, but thanks to their connections with Alyssa, he was calm enough to overlook what happened. Can't believe I made such a blunder, not just once, but twice. Or at least they ever fixed it, right? All's well that ends well, I guess. Still, it really does feel like you were born into the way of the sword. Don't need to make my lack of domestic skills sound like some kind of winning quality. All too aware of the areas where I come up short. I took up cooking in the effort to become more refined, but wasn't planning to admit that here. Still, I'm glad I got the chance to see a side of you and no one else has really gotten to see. Hey, no one's good at everything, we've all got our weak spots. That's true, but you and I aren't so different in that regard, you know. All of us have roles we're good at fulfilling, and for those we aren't, we need to learn to rely on others. I want you to promise me you won't try to shoulder everything yourself. All of us are here with you to share the burden. You're right. That was nice anyway. Nice little side activity. Oh, look at that, 94. Pretty close. Who next? So, we have Caius, Toa, Gaius, Elliot, Eustace, Sarah, Alfin, Milliam, Emma. Who do we want to go to? How about we do... let's go do... who's the closest to leveling up, link-wise? Millium's level 3, holy cow, so... Maybe doing the level 3s might be a good idea. Let's go for Millium and Husis. Seemed like a good idea. Let's give him Millium first then. The Eisengard's pretty much stuck in Rose Station for the time being. Better stepped in under the Alliance control. And when I got what I left in there a while ago, we should grab it before it starts running again. Kinda cool to take a look inside too. Mind if I join you? Didn't exactly get to look around last time we were in there. To be honest, I can't like to. In the words of Fee, let's roll. I spoke to the RMP officers guarding the station and were granted permission to step inside the Eisengard. Once inside, I went straight to the front carriage, and Millium found what she was looking for on the engine room's dashboard. A giant teddy bear. There's a stuffed bear, a pretty big one too. Rams bought him for me a while back as a reward for completing a mission. He did. Having a hard time imagining Chancellor Osborne buying someone something so cute as a present. Didn't seem like the type, huh? Probably bought it for me on a whim. I wasn't trying to suggest he was a cold-hearted person or anything. I'm gonna go do some exploring, but the chairs in here are way softer than any Soviet ever tried. Why not? I'll put the RMP out, remember? I can't spend too long in here. When kidding, these really are comfy. It was a gift from the Emperor though, it's no wonder it'd be so ritzy. Just jealous of how much he got used to it too. He used to live it up on his way to the conference in Crossbell. All the birds were on board for that trip too. What's up? Nothing, I was just thinking about how the train lost its master. The same way you Captain Claire and the other Ironbloods have. That's true, guess he can't really live it up anymore if he's dead, huh? Nothing we can do about it though. Crow outsmarted him, and that's that. Managed to kill him. Wasn't expecting you to be able to talk about him so impartially. I mean, if you're upset about it, there's no need to force yourself to not let it show, you know? Why would I be? When Dad was shot by the Jaeger, I was beside myself with worry and anger. And then the Chancellor was like a father to all of you, wasn't he? Just saying there's no need to force yourself to seem happy if you need a shoulder to cry on. I don't know what you mean. What's it even like to cry anyway? What do you mean, what's it like to cry? Surely you've done it before, everyone has. Seriously don't know. You're serious? Never cried, not once? Guess not. I felt moved when reading books and felt kinda lonely when someone wasn't there anymore, but being so upset about something that tears come out of your eyes just seems kinda alien to me. Never cried? Never? She's younger than the rest of us, but by her age, most people have done it at least more than they can count. What you go all quiet for? Still down about what the stuff will be? It's no fun if you're all gloomy like this. Having a hard time processing what you're saying. I want you to remember one thing. To all of us in Class 7, you're both a classmate and a friend. If anything were to happen to you, all of us would be incredibly upset and have to cry a lot. Just remember that. Okay, still don't know what you're trying to say, but I'll keep that in mind. I really like all you guys too. And come on, how reckless you are, you're gonna run into trouble way before I do. Fair point. It's kind of backstory, character building, it's always nice. Finished talking, they left the Eisengard stuffed bear in hand. Right, so I have 1 point left, so... Okay, so we got... I think I want to do... I mean, Husis would... I don't use Husis enough for guys. And Alfin and Sarah, I mean... Toa's there as well, for some reason. Maybe we'll get to use her later on, but... I think I might go do Alfin's. Alfin's bonding might be pretty good to do. We could just do Emma, since we'll be using her a lot. I think I just might as well do Emma since she's right here. City so amazing that I almost can't take it all in. Not so much different city as it is a different world. Nothing is familiar. I feel this way, but I grew up in such a rural area. Can't hardly believe what I'm looking at. I felt the same the first time I was here, so let's far cry from Ymir, that's for sure. While you're here, why not walk around taking in the sights? It's a bit intimidating, but there's a lot to see. Fun idea. Hope things get better for you soon. Episode 2. Maybe she appreciate a guide. Ro's a big place after all. Why not? How about I give you a guided tour of the place? I've been here before, so I should be able to give you a decent one. At least not at least a grade, but still. I'm sure you wouldn't mind. Love that. What a strange sensation. The idea of a moving staircase is incredible. Sure enough. Isn't in the only one in the continent too. It's ice over in Desert Well. Surprised if they are interested. Oh my god, there's some quick text. There's a big structure over there. An orbital generator apparently. They provide the energy that this town and the factories need to work. Plans to make more of them too. They had plans, I'm guessing they've been put on hold until the Rhineland company is fully organized again. It's amazing that technology like this actually exists. It's like magic in a way. We continue to show Emma around the city, focusing primarily on the things one couldn't find anywhere else. Eventually the tour came to an end and decided to stop for a rest. So much to take in here that my heart's still spinning. Every time I thought I'd seen all there was to see, he led me to something else that was even more incredible. That's the same way I felt the first time I was here. It gets even more incredible when you realize that in a few decades, places like this could be the norm. Maybe right, especially with the way technology is always advancing. It reminds me of something I read in a book once. It said technology that is beyond the comprehension of the observer is indistinguishable from magic. One way to look at it for sure. But if that is the case, where does it leave witches like me? When people develop new technology, it's embraced with open arms, but our equally convenient magic is feared as heretical. That's why we're forced to live in the shadows, hiding both our existence and our powers away from people. Is that the only reason we exist? To fulfill the duties that nobody even knows about while the world leaves us behind? I didn't realize you felt that way. I'm the one who should be sorry. I didn't mean to ramble at you like this. Shouldering a far heavier burden than I am right now. Another person's worries are the last things you need. Even more so when my duty as a witch is to support you. I'm sure Grandmother and Celine would be very annoyed at me right now. I don't have anything to be sorry for. Honestly, all of your concerns make sense to me. I don't think anyone exists just to fill some arbitrary set of duties, especially you. Would you think so? Sure, you're a witch, but that doesn't mean that doesn't have to define who you are as a person. To us, you're Emma, our class president, and our friend, who also just so happens to be a witch. Nobody gets to pick how they're born, but everybody deserves to choose how they want to live their life. I suppose you're right. So don't let being a witch force you into dedicating your life to filling your duties or whatever. Focus on finding something that you want to do. We're all here to help you do that. You know that, right? You're not alone. I don't think anyone else in that class figured out exactly how to live their life either. When you put it that way, there's no supposing about it, is there? You're right. It might not be easy to find something I want to do for myself, but maybe it's time I start thinking long and hard about it. If I run into any difficulties though, you'll be the first person I come to for support. Whenever you need it, I'll be there. Bond of Emma strengthened. And that's that. All done and dusted. So back to the Roa airport and back onto the Courageous. Let's head back on the Courageous and continue on with our quest to recruit students, I guess. Our quest to recruit students and bring an end to this war. Should I go check on Malamar and hold? Have the time to do anything else out here? Looks like the maintenance is nearly finished. Doesn't mean story to advance. Towards Courageous.
Upper rank you go! Here's a bonus from the Academy.
Domination, okay.
Wow, that must have been tough.
Oh, this is the end of the chapter
I'm
as
so
well.
proud of you, Rean.
Nice S. How are you feeling, Valima? Battle yesterday must have been pretty hard on you. I am fine. Damage to my armor and my last mana have largely recovered. I expect to be in peak condition before our next battle. That's good to hear. Just listening to you talk, you really have changed since we first met. You seem to be talking a little more like a human. Is that so? That would suggest that my memory is slowly recovering. What's that now? The part of me in which memories are stored appears to be damaged. I have very few memories of the past, such as why I was sealed within the old schoolhouse to begin with. This includes my memory of language. Thus far, I have to rely on the preset bare minimum of speech functionality. However, thanks in great part to your existence, my speech functionality is slowly beginning to restore itself. Does that mean your memories of the past are starting to return too? It is an indistinct memory, as if clouded by white noise. I seem to recall someone burdened by a great sadness, much like yourself. That's obvious, huh? Look that burden to you? Someone died right before my eyes and was powerless to stop them. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that I might have been able to stop it from happening. And that regret's like a thorn stabbing into my heart. Was the person in your memory able to move past their burdens? I am unable to find any memories that answer that question. However, I believe that your sense of regret is an entirely natural process for humans. Is that not the case? Yeah, I guess. You have thought to what you would do differently if confronted by the same situation again. If I can aid you, I shall. You're right, I can't undo the past, but I can at least make sure I don't make the same mistake a second time. Perhaps considering how to do that is the best I can do right now. I feel a little better after talking to you. Then all is well. I'm afraid I must return to sleep. Should you require my aid again, you need only to call my name. Need to keep on getting stronger, strong enough that I can protect the people around me. The ship's maintenance is probably almost done. Maybe I should take a nap or something while I wait for the others to get here. Or answering the phone. This is Rean. George here, do you have a minute? Something wrong? Royal Institute of Tech. Acquaintance of mine here has a pretty interesting proposal regarding your divine knight. How soon do you think you can come over? What is this acquaintance of yours? It's the Institute's president, actually, Professor Schmidt, Empire's foremost all-war researcher. Professor G. Schmidt. The name's G. Schmidt. I serve as this institute's president. I certainly wasn't expecting the pilot of the Ashen Knight to only be a boy. The Lions ought to be damn near ashamed of themselves if they keep losing to a snot-nosed brat like you. If that's any way to talk to the person you only just met. Besides, it happened to be the one of the students to help you get a Minura medal earlier in the year. And one of the students put out that request without any input from me. You should be kissing my boots for having the honor of assisting with my research, however indirect it was. Some things never change. Putting that aside, is it true? Were you the one responsible for developing the Panzer Soldats? It is. Duke Cayenne made the request and I agreed to it. Used the ancient robot Ordine and society's archaisms as a reference to point. and then design a frame that could be mass-produced even with the Reinfeld's company's technological capabilities. Afterwards, I drew up plans for several models, oversaw the completion of the Draken prototype a few months back. Why'd you ask? Any idea after what you've done? Wasting your time, Rean. He develops whatever catches his interest, loses himself in it until he's done. And to hell with the consequences. Railway guns and Gredia Fortress and the orbital wave jamming device Nord were both designed by him too. An engineer who doesn't strive to satisfy his intellectual curiosity is a sad sight of an engineer. We just design things, it's up to users to decide what to do with them. Do you get it now? It's because I couldn't cope with this part of him that I ended up going to the academy over here. Yeah, I totally get it, unfortunately. What made you come visit the professor to begin with? That was what I called you here for. I was hoping I'll be able to get some kind of advice or pointers from him. Or getting a new weapon for Valimar. Oh.
And if I might be so bold as to offer a word of advice, get Valimar a better sword, one like yours. If you think you're such hot stuff you can beat me without your 8 leaves training, you're in for a world of hurt.
Correct choice of armaments is indeed paramount. Selecting one the Awakener is well suited to will increase combat efficiency exponentially.
George told me about what you're after. He says you want a weapon capable of fighting on equal terms with the Azure Knight. We might have gone our separate ways, but he's still a former student of mine, open to the possibility of designing something for you. Make a weapon for Valimar. Instead of be open to the possibility, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I have one condition. Zemurian ore. Ring any bells for you? Think so. Use that to make weapons for us than you before. Saves me the effort of explaining it then. Extremely rare ore found here in Zemuria. It's an extremely strong material that possesses a mysterious radiance to begin with within it. And what's more, as I learned while developing the sword arts, the frames of the Divine Knights are made up of that very ore, the Ashen Knight included. I had no idea. The double saber Ordine uses appears to be made of it too, which I'm sure you figured out. It means if you're going to be able to compete against Crow, you need a Tachi made of Zemurian ore too. To make one, however, you're going to need vast quantities of ore, yet it was only recently discovered how to refine the ore at all. Processing will be immensely difficult. But bring me the materials, I'll be willing to be able to assist you. The concept of a weapon that compete against Divine Knights is of great interest to me. Even when you're helping people, it's only to help yourself. It'd be nice if you're doing it to atone for developing the sword arts, but I can't picture those words coming out of your mouth. Very thought makes me ill. Bear in mind, Zemurian ore is an incredibly rare material. Find enough of it to get the job done. Still, should you pull it off, I design you the finest tattoo you ever laid your eyes on. And my name as an engineer, I can promise you that. It'll be great help to us. Rare or not, we'll find all the Zemurian ore we can to make this work. Keep my expectations low. I'm a douchebag, but you know. The advice Rean received from forging a new weapon or Valimar came from a surprising source. He could not have asked for better. After politely excusing themselves, Rean and George left the Institute to reunite with the rest of the crew. When maintenance was declared complete, they boarded Courageous and departed from Roa. Touring Erebonia free. We have plenty of people on board now, which is nice. I have to tell you I'm impressed. I was expecting this beauty of a ship to be on the feisty side, but she's a real sweet girl. Getting through the clouds like this feels wonderful. Get used to this. I believe how quickly we've gotten the hang of it. Neither can I. It feels obvious who's more qualified to sit here between the two of us. The job's all yours now. Why, thank you. I hereby accept the position of Chief Helmsman and Courageous Second in Command. She really is amazing. The one out there who can tame a vehicle as fast as Angie. We're not going to have to worry about a thing with her around. Moving right along, the good news is that we will liberate Roa. I don't think any of us could have predicted how much the war situation would have changed in the process. Falconet's provincial army withdrawal from the conflict will have a profound effect going forward. Losing one of their key members is bound to be a painful loss to the Alliance. For one thing, it should make things easier for Lieutenant General Banda and the 3rd Armored Division, which concern before now was the naughtier provincial army after all. So the Alliance's overwhelming supremacy is finally starting to sway. Only in East Erebonia though, they still come out on top in the West. Right, Prince Olibert said as much too. General Le Guin and Brigadier General Bardius are out there and claiming one victory after another. There's your brother Husis, he's a brilliant leader and it shows. Be that as it may, all we can do now is focus our efforts on the Eastern Front for now. As we are entrusted with, and fretting over things we can't change won't do us any good. That's putting in perspective. We've got a handful over here as it is, so let's make every moment count. Time to get back to gathering all the info we can. Speaking of, might give me an update on the situation with Valamar's weapon.